So help you God.
It's the name heard in newscasts around the world.
Special Counsel Robert Mueller.
Special Counsel Bob Mueller.
El fiscal especial Mueller.
Le procureur spécial Robert Mueller.
Спецпрокурор Роберт Мюллер, который везет США.
After 2 years on the job, U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller has delivered his report to the Attorney General on a widespread investigation which has overshadowed the presidency of Donald Trump. The central questions: did the president or his campaign collude with Russia during the 2016 election or try to obstruct the investigation? The probe has already led to indictments, arrests, and convictions of several people in Trump's orbit.
Should have never been any Mueller investigation because there was never anything done wrong. There was no collusion. There never has been. You would have known about it a long time ago if there was.
Trump says the investigation is a politically motivated attack on his presidency. He frequently calls it a witch hunt, led by supporters of his 2016 Democratic opponent, Hillary Clinton. So how did we get to this point?
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
Trump was sworn in as the 45th U.S. president in January of 2017. Just weeks before Trump took office, a report by the U.S. Director of National Intelligence concluded that Russia led operations to influence the 2016 election in Trump's favor. U.S. intelligence agencies found Russia was behind cyber attacks, hacking Democrats' emails, and false stories planted in social media.
You've become more famous than me.
Then FBI Director James Comey had opened an initial investigation into Russian interference. In May 2017, Trump fired him. The president first claimed Comey's dismissal was for reasons not connected to the Russia probe. But later, in an interview with Lester Holt of NBC News, he said it was.
And in fact, when I decided to just do it, I said to myself, I said, you know, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story. It's an excuse by the Democrats for having lost an election.
Our default position.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, a Trump appointee, named Mueller as a special counsel to conduct an independent investigation.
Director Mueller is going to have a full degree of independence that he needs to conduct that investigation appropriately.
Mueller's appointment received bipartisan support. The longtime Republican and former Marine served as FBI director for 12 years under Democratic and Republican presidents. Within months of being appointed, Mueller leveled his first charges. National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who resigned just 22 days after taking office, pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russians. In October 2017, Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was arrested and charged with conspiracy against the United States and a series of financial crimes. The charges were connected to consulting work done for pro-Russian Ukrainian politicians and others before his time with Trump. He was convicted of 8 felonies in one trial, pleaded guilty to similar charges in a separate trial, receiving a combined sentence of 7.5 years in prison. He's still facing fraud charges in New York. Mueller's team also charged 13 Russians with conducting information warfare against the United States from this building in Russia's St. Petersburg. It's allegedly run by a confidant of President Vladimir Putin, Yevgeny Prigozhin, with the aim of planting false stories on social media to sow distrust in candidates and chaos in the U.S. political system. In July 2018, 12 Russian intelligence officers were charged with hacking the computers of Hillary Clinton's campaign to obtain and release emails potentially damaging to her. During the campaign, Trump appeared to welcome Russian involvement.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
Mueller's investigators have been looking at a June 2016 meeting at Trump Tower in New York. The president's son, Donald Trump Jr., his son-in-law and advisor, Jared Kushner, along with Manafort, met a Kremlin-linked lawyer, Natalia Veselnitskaya. Former Soviet counterintelligence officer Rinat Akhmetshin was also said to be present. When the story broke in 2017, Trump's son said the meeting was about Americans adopting Russian children. He later released emails showing the Russians had offered political dirt on Clinton, but that nothing meaningful had come of the meeting.
There was no collusion whatsoever. There never has been. The last thing I want is help from Russia on a campaign.
In January 2019, Trump's longtime advisor, political consultant Roger Stone, was arrested and charged with obstruction of justice, lying, and witness tampering. Mueller's indictment claims Stone sought information about the hacked DNC and Clinton emails at the direction of a senior Trump campaign official. Stone pleaded not guilty and was released on bail, awaiting trial. Trump's longtime personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 years in prison for campaign finance violations, tax evasion, and lying to Congress. In his guilty plea, Cohen claimed then-candidate Donald Trump directed him in 2016 to pay hush money to 2 women who claimed to have affairs with Trump. As part of the plea bargain, he began cooperating with the investigations of Trump by Mueller and New York federal prosecutors. Cohen also admitted in court that he worked on a Moscow Trump Tower project until June 2016, well into the presidential contest. More than 30 people have been indicted by Mueller, but so far no charges of outright collusion between the Trump campaign and Moscow have been leveled. By law, Trump's new Attorney General, William Barr, will have to decide how much of Mueller's report can be made public.
I believe the Russians interfered or attempted to interfere with the election, and I think we have to get to the bottom of it.
Whatever is contained in the Mueller report, it is likely to be followed by huge political and legal fallout that will be felt in Washington for years to come.